Leo Varadkar's speech to the nation has been labelled a shameless PR exercise by Joe Brawley, and he's not wrong. Joe Brawley has slammed Leo Varadkar for supposedly saying absolutely nothing in his address to the nation last night, and he accused the Taoiseach of using the crisis to simply look prime ministerial.
You know, and all this coy stuff, it's obviously been written by some speech writer who's decided this is a good opportunity for Leo to look prime ministerial. You know, wasting everybody's time for 10 minutes of soundbiting. And, I have to say I was enraged.
And let's face it, the whole exercise did serve to benefit Mr Varadkar. A speech might have been justified if some new measures were announced, but this had nothing. All people were left with were fuzzy feelings about Mr Varadkar and increased fears about what's coming our way. The Taoiseach could have taken the opportunity to close the borders or announce a national lockdown, things that would fast-track beating the virus and getting back to normal. But instead, he waxed lyrical about how not all heroes wear capes and that children shouldn't fight with their brothers and sisters. This is not leadership, and it's not wrong to call this stuff out either. It's PR from a man and party that is not letting a crisis go to waste. Maybe they're laying the groundwork for entering a new government where Leo won't lose his job as leader, or else just making a cheap gain. But by failing to tackle the radical steps necessary of shutting everything down, like he should have done, they are most certainly exacerbating the problem. I understand that we can't only look to our leadership for solutions, we have to take responsibility. But the basic steps of testing people coming from Cheltenham, of stopping Italian flights to Ireland, and of announcing a lockdown were not taken when they should have been. And that, my friends, indicates the government's real attitude. Actions do indeed speak louder than words. And the government's approach at the moment suggests we're actually, whether they know it or not, on a similar course to the UK of attempting herd immunity. We're in a more controlled spread than them for sure. But it seems the state is resigned to letting people eventually get the virus and hoping that we develop immunity. If we were on a different preventative course, actually trying to stop the spread of the virus as the government claims, we would have went into lockdown a long time ago and shut the borders, like other countries have already done. How do you expect to beat a virus if it can just fly, drive or sail into the country? A lockdown would save lives and should have been announced last night, but stopping the spread requires closing the borders, and that's not something the government appears ready to do. If you are worried though, it's worth putting the facts into perspective. In a world of 7.7 billion people, there are only 205,000 confirmed cases. That's only 0.0027% of the world's population. Of course, we should take all the steps needed to protect ourselves and our families. You know what we have to do, but there's no need to fear.